Should he and his team try to seek an immediate rematch?
No.
All due respect.
Yeah.
DDP need to probably go to a different weight class. He probably should go drop down a weight.
So he's too big to drop down.
He's stuck.
I don't even think Dricus Du Plessis will ever put his hand up to fight Khamzat Chimaev again. And even if he did, I don't know if the UFC would make it, just because it was so non-competitive, and Khamzat Chimaev has every single aspect of Dricus Du Plessis' game.
He was very dominant. He got everything down.
You can't have technical hold like that. What makes you different?
He could do stuff that Dricus was not able to do. Take him down, put him on his back, gotta hurt him, make him work harder. There's not an area that's gonna be bad.
Fluffy is on an 8-fight win.
He is very good. He beat Golitza, and I don't want to be a hater, but I don't think Golitza is really good anywhere.
It's refreshing how on it. I feel like we should be friends, RDR. I think has the best chance of dethroning the newly crowned champion.
After suffering a dominant loss at UFC 319, many fighters have advised Dricus Du Plessis to stay away from a rematch with Khamzat Chimaev and even think about moving to a different division. At the same time, Dana White has unveiled an action-packed fight card for October, sending fans into a frenzy. Chimaev's next opponent will likely come from the winners of either Imavov versus Kaio or RDR versus Fluffy, making the road ahead even more intriguing.
The main event, it's a 5-round fight between middleweight contenders Reiner de Ridder and Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. That is a bad fight. And obviously next month, parent, we have another top middleweight contender fight between number 2 ranked Imavov and 7th ranked Bohalyo. And then Vancouver a few weeks later. We'll see how this whole thing plays out. And we're going to end up with a middleweight challenger for Khamzat Chimaev's title that he just won. So these fights have massive implications.
After moving closer to a title shot, RDR expressed confidence that he has the strategy to push Khamzat Chimaev to his limits. He claimed he could take Chimaev down, force him into deeper exchanges, and capitalize on weaknesses that Dricus Du Plessis failed to expose. According to RDR, while Chimaev dominated Du Plessis with heavy control, his lack of proper framing left gaps that sharper opponent could potentially exploit.
I think I'd be able to take him down, put him on his back. I could do some stuff that Dricus was not able to do. Gotta hurt him, make him work harder.
It was a technical error, the technical skills that he just didn't have to be able to escape those positions.
He was just holding him onto him, man.
Right.
He was not even framing, right?
How do you dissect your fighting style with Khamzat Chimaev? What makes you different than everybody else he's fought?
If he takes me down, great. If I take him down, great. It's on the feet, great. There's not an area that we can go to in the fight that's gonna be bad for me. Jiu-Jitsu is a very important aspect of fighting him. See if I can get in the clinch and hurt him there.
I have a feeling I know what the answer is. Who do you think has the best chance of dethroning the newly crowned champion?
Me.
Point at yourself, Art.
Ryder also questioned KO Bayo's place in the middleweight title conversation, pointing out his inactivity and limited wins this year. He stressed that fighters like himself and Imavov had shown consistency and proven their worth recently, whereas KO's lack of competition has kept him from being a serious contender.
The main thing is about this fight is when it's gonna happen. If he wants to fight in Abu Dhabi, I think it's very clear that I'm the guy. Kaio and Imavov are fighting in 3 weeks, so it might be a little bit too short for one of them to step up. I think Imavov is very deserving as well. Right. He's very skilled. He has a crazy record. What he did to Adesanya was great. Was amazing. I didn't expect that at all, and it was perfect. I think Kaio should. He's not there. He didn't even fight this year, I think. So his last win was over Cannonier, maybe. His best win is Cannonier, which is good, but MVP just beat him as well. So I beat 5 guys this year, and he beat nobody this year. So I think he's not.
Anthony Hernandez has made history as the first middleweight to secure 8 consecutive victories without a title shot, and now he's set to headline against Reiner de Ridder at UFC Vancouver. He wasted no time accepting the matchup, viewing it as another crucial step toward the top of the division. Hernandez underlined his readiness to fight anyone and continue pushing forward in the rankings, showing complete confidence and zero hesitation when the opportunity arrived.
did this happen, Fluffy? Because we saw you in Chicago, like, you were doing interviews as of Monday, here we are Wednesday, fight is official.
Yeah, no, Monday I was getting a massage and I got the offer and they said, I think it's the offer you don't want to pass, and I said, okay, then run it, sign the contract. And now we're here. You know what I mean?
Who's they? Is that your management or matchmakers?
Matchmaker, yeah, Hunter. It's like, alright, if this is what I gotta do, then let's keep going. Like I said, man, if I gotta knock every motherfucker down till I get to the top, then so be it.
Yeah, did it surprise you a little bit though? Like, did you think that they would at least take a few more days, just especially given all the talk with Khamzat saying he might turn around?
I mean, look, at the end of the day, I'm not the matchmaker. I'm not Dana White. I don't make the calls. You know what I mean? Like, he says, hey, be here, and I'm like, I'm in. If I'm healthy, I'm there. You know what I mean? I'll never say no from anybody.
On the flip side, rumors have surfaced about a potential rematch between Dricus Du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev, but Rampage Jackson quickly shut down the speculation. He argued that after such a one-sided and humiliating defeat, Dricus has no business calling for another shot at Chimaev. Instead, Jackson suggested Du Plessis should consider changing divisions altogether, possibly moving down in weight since he appears stuck and unable to make progress where he currently stands.
Should he and his team try to seek an immediate rematch?
No.
You just got destroyed.
Just got destroyed.
Yeah,
Like, fuck no. DDP shouldn't even say the word re or match in the same fucking sentence in an interview.
Yeah.
Hey, with all due respect.
Yeah.
DDP need to probably go to a different weight class. He probably should go drop down a weight.
So he's too big to drop down.
He's stuck.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Nate Diaz voiced his criticism of Khamzat Chimaev, calling him an overrated and scared fighter. He argued that while Chimaev looks intimidating, his tendency to rely heavily on ground control instead of fully committing to striking reveals hesitation. According to Diaz, a Real fighter wouldn't hold back in that way, and Chimaev's cautious approach makes him come across more like a frightened kid than the fearless warrior many fans believe him to be.
I don't like that kind of fighting.
What's the
Boring.
fighting?
It's boring to me.
Like it's when it's on the ground.
Like he's supposed to be a big scary guy, right? And you remember when he had him in side control and he's holding him?
Yeah.
Dominating him, right? And then he's like, let's go and hit him a little bit, like little soft punches and shit. It's like, that's what people don't understand about like the styles. Like that type of fighter is a scared fighter. He's scared for his life that he lets go that much. He's that afraid that if he lets go to hit him hard, that one might get up and get him away from him. So that's a scared style to me. And he comes off as this big intimidating guy, but he's a big old child. I think and that's why I tweeted about it. I said, he's not a fighter because you could tell by how scared he is holding him that.
Nate Diaz also explained how he would approach a fight with Khamzat Chimaev. He said that trying to completely shut down Chimaev's wrestling is unrealistic because very few fighters can outgrapple him. Instead, the smarter strategy is to accept the takedown, stay calm on the ground, and work effectively off your back. Nate pointed out that constantly resisting takedowns and scrambling to get up only drains energy and usually leads to losing on the scorecards, whereas adapting from the bottom gives a better chance to survive and create openings.
If you weren't Dricus, how would you have defended all those takedowns?
Well, you have to be either better than him at that, which he's not. He's not. Not top except, or you have to like when I was gonna fight him, they were like, I had the wrestlers coming up to me like Henry Cejudo and people coming up there, don't let him take it down. I'm like, no, I'm going out there to go to the ground. You think I'm gonna sit there and try to defend the takedown the whole time? So I then defend, get up until you're too tired and take your back to the choke like 20 years in. It's like, no, you don't fight like that. You learn how to fight from your back, and you're gonna lose the decision anyway. So learn how to fight.
Nate Diaz went on to describe how he'd handle a potential fight with Khamzat Chimaev, saying he would willingly pull him into his closed guard and attack non-stop from the bottom. He explained that his plan would be to keep Chimaev trapped, forcing him to deal with submissions, ground strikes, and constant pressure rather than wasting energy trying to get back up. According to Nate, this approach would allow him to conserve stamina while making it a grueling, uncomfortable fight for Chimaev, with the goal of either breaking him down or securing a submission.
Before you put him in your closed guard and beat the hell out of the You're going to make my life a living in hell trying to get up, then I'm just not going to try to get him. I'm going to beat the fuck out of you from my back and lose the decision or take you out somehow by brutally damaging your whole grill, catching you choke, flipping you over. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to be an athlete backwards because you already obviously got that part covered. That's how he got there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I put him in front of the closed guard and beat the shit out of him. Like, I didn't plan on getting up when I fought Khamzat. I'm like, let's put him down. I did Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. I'm a black belt for years. I plan on going to my back and finishing you. Or splitting your whole face open while I'm down there for 25 minutes.
Renato Moicano was deeply impressed by Khamzat Chimaev's performance at UFC 319, stating that Chimaev's dominance over Dricus Du Plessis was so overwhelming that some rounds could have been scored 10-8. He highlighted how frequently Chimaev trapped Du Plessis in the crucifix position, estimating it happened nearly 8 times over 5 rounds, which he argued was an even more dominant and controlling position than full mount.
Every round was 10-8.
So what do you make of his Khamzat's performance?
Doesn't fucking matter.
No.
He destroyed Dricus Du Plessis. I was surprised. Let me ask you with another question. How many times he got on the crucifix for? More than that. Brother.
8 or 10? I don't know.
In a 5-round fight, get the guy 8 times on the crucifix?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. Because to me, crucifix is worse than the...
TJ Dillashaw also praised Khamzat Chimaev's conditioning in his fight against Dricus Du Plessis. He noted that many believed Chimaev would need an early finish to secure victory, but instead he controlled the bout with ease, taking Du Plessis down and locking in a crucifix position in less than 50 seconds. TJ described the performance as incredible and admired how effortlessly Chimaev executed his game plan.
Look at that cardio, boys.
Unbelievable.
Cardio was sick. I didn't watch it live. I watched it the day after because I was at the Sprouts convention. And when I saw that it was a 5-round, insanely unanimous decision, I just knew it was like, let's fucking go, right? Like, everyone thought the only way he was going to win was by finishing him. He went out there and just put on an absolute clinic. I was surprised how easy he made it look. I know he was good. I thought it was going to be a lot harder of a challenge. I mean, I'm a DDP fan as well, too, like his pressure and the way he fights, right? But Chimaev looked like very low level, like he'd never wrestled a day in his life before. It was crazy. He took him down and crucified him in under 50 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, under 50 seconds, he got taken out and crucified and, like, held him there for so long. Insane to me.
The Barnhill brothers also weighed in on the possibility of a Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus Du Plessis rematch. Nick Barnhill explained that if Chimaev had finished Du Plessis quickly with a submission in the first or second round, a rematch might have been considered. However, he doubts Du Plessis would willingly face Khamzat again, and even if he did, the UFC likely wouldn't book it given how one-sided the fight was. Nick further emphasized that Chimaev has completely solved Du Plessis' style, and no training camp could realistically close that gap in one fight, or even in several.
He would have submitted Dricus Du Plessis in the first or second round. I believe we'd be talking about the rematch today. Dricus would have probably come out and said, yeah, he caught me in a position. I'm not going to let it happen again. I've defended my belt twice. I'd like another crack at this. I don't even think Dricus Du Plessis will ever put his hand up to fight Khamzat Chimaev again. And even if he did, I don't know if the UFC would make it just because it was so non-competitive. And Khamzat Chimaev has every single aspect of Dricus Du Plessis' game figured out, and there's no answers that Dricus can figure out in one camp, 2 camps, or even...
Stephen Barnhill Jr. agreed, noting that if the fight had ended in a quick knockout or submission, a rematch might have been more realistic. However, Khamzat's dominant start-to-finish performance, where he controlled every moment and dictated the pace, left little doubt. He added that while Dricus is a true warrior, deep down he likely has no desire to step back in with Khamzat after experiencing the kind of overwhelming control.
A good point, dude, because I felt the same way. You know, like if it had been a quick submission or even a quick knockout, regardless of which way it went, you know, there could be some rumblings of a rematch down the road. They go, whichever one lost went and got some impressive finishes and got back in. Khamzat made a statement with that performance last night. I mean, he dominated from start to finish. He landed takedowns at will, and he made it to where, as you said, Dricus probably doesn't even want to fight him again. Of course, Dricus is a warrior, but I know there's a part of Dricus deep down that's like, holy, what was that? Like, I do not want to experience.
Heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall also praised Khamzat Chimaev's outstanding performance against Dricus Du Plessis, pointing out his immediate control, well-rounded striking, and flawless ground game. He described it as nearly a perfect showcase, acknowledging Chimaev as the rightful new middleweight champion, while still giving credit to Du Plessis for his toughness and determination inside the cage.
I've been thinking that this is going to be the fight of the year, so we'll see how that goes. Now straight away, on the low double, a minute into the fight, he's getting the crucifix. Punches to the ear, it's working on his collie. Completely dominated in the first round. Khamzat straight on a double again, sits him down. If I was Khamzat though, I'd be trying to finish it. This spot. Once he gets them hands together from the back position like that, his grip was unbelievable. What Khamzat's doing really well is he's switching stances a lot as well from the stand-up. In the limited stand-up that he's doing, he's keeping DDP guessing. But he's managed to reverse him though with 2.5 minutes left. Don't go for no submissions and nothing like that. Don't lose position. He's going for the kill. Come on, 5th position, he's popped his head straight out. Last minute. He said he's put a few shots on him there though. He's got him going backwards. Go up! DDP's ended up on top with 30 seconds left. I don't think he'll have enough time to do much damage, but that's it. So a complete shutout for Khamzat Chimaev, new champion at middleweight. Congratulations to Khamzat. Commiserations to DDP.
On the other hand, DDP's coach Martin criticized referee Mark Goddard for not standing the fight up more frequently during the clash with Khamzat Chimaev. He argued that the pace slowed unnecessarily, with hundreds of strikes thrown but few considered impactful. Martin claimed the fight turned into a smothering, uneventful contest and added that Dricus would need 12 to 16 weeks to correct these shortcomings, aiming for a comeback early next year.
Morna Visser blames referee for Khamzat Chimaev loss. Dricus Du Plessis' coach, Morna Visser, believes referee Mark Goddard should have stopped the action more often and stood Khamzat Chimaev back up. Visser also said Du Plessis would ideally like to return early next year.
The referee made that fight a lot more live, or a little bit more. Khamzat landing like 570 shots, 550 shots, and only 37 of them were significant. So I think when shit goes that slow for 20 seconds, first warning, second warning, 5 seconds later, 5 seconds later, stand the fight up. That fight was smart with warriors. I need 12 to 16 weeks to sort this problem out. So we'll be back early next.
However, Herb Dean defended Mark Goddard's decision to stand Khamzat Chimaev up during the fight. He explained that although Khamzat controlled every round, the stand-ups were warranted since MMA doesn't reward simply holding dominant positions without pursuing a finish. Dean clarified that the calls were fair and stressed that Khamzat wasn't avoiding the action.
Goddard stood them up a couple times. Would you have done the same thing in the fight?
I don't think there was anything wrong with his stand-ups. You know, Khamzat dominated the fight round, but I think, and it's, you know, this is an ongoing conversation that everyone in the stakeholders and everyone in the sport has, but what do we want this sport to look like? Do we want people to achieve a dominant position, which, if you're not using it to beat your opponent, could almost be looked at as a hiding place, as a place to burn time? And I'm never going to accuse Khamzat of hiding, because, I mean, the man's just...
Herb Dean further explained that when a fighter is stuck in a chest-to-chest cross-fixed position with limited posture, it becomes extremely difficult to land meaningful strikes. He said he fully agreed with the stand-ups that Mark Goddard enforced in that situation.
But if you get a position, like we can break that one down, the crucifix, chest-to-chest position, not a lot of height, very difficult to get a place where you can punch your opponent. Sometimes he's able to get elbows. And what, you know, you want to reward people. We can talk about 10-8s and that at the same time. You want to reward someone with a 10-8 for trying to finish their opponent, for taking a risk. It takes a risk to to make some space, to posture where you're going to be able to maybe finish the fight. And I think that's what we want our sport to look like. And so I'm okay with those stand-ups that Mark.
Furthermore, DDP's coach stressed that their ultimate goal is to defeat Khamzat Chimaev in a potential rematch. But the priority right now is correcting past mistakes rather than jumping back into the cage too soon. He outlined the plan as shutting down takedowns, getting back to the feet quickly, and making Khamzat pay with strikes, though he admitted Khamzat's wrestling has evolved significantly, making the task tougher. Still, he insisted that focusing on these adjustments now will give them the best chance to return stronger and secure redemption.
Saying RDR is the next fight for you guys, you wouldn't be interested in a potential contender if you had to fight a contender next?
Look, I'll be honest with you, instead of spending time to prepare for going to another fight camp to prepare for RDR, I would rather spend that time to fix the problem that we've got and then go into a camp. So I won't just take a fight because fights are available. I want to fix this problem because we're going to face Khamzat and I want to destroy him this time. And I know it sounds easy, man, it sounds so easy. If you can just get that guy not to take you down, or stuff his takedowns and stand back up and punish him. But he also picked up his wrestling game, so no RDR for us right now. Now I'd rather spend the time in fixing this.
Coach Morin Visor stated that Dricus Du Plessis will stop at nothing to reclaim the middleweight title. He admitted critics might laugh and label Dricus as exposed, but stressed that both he and his fighter remain relentless in their pursuit. Visor made it clear they are aiming for the championship in the very next fight, no matter the challenge. He also pointed out that fans who prefer safe and predictable matchups don't understand true competition, promising that Dricus will shock the world when he regains the belt.
Watch this space, guys. You've just maybe met the worst losers ever in your life. Me and Dricus. And I'm not sleeping until we've got that belt back. I know everybody's laughing and saying, yeah, Dricus was exposed. I'm a bad loser. Dricus is a bad loser. It's going to take whatever it takes for us to get that belt back. ASAP. It's not going to be a long story. One fight in the belt. Get us back in the belt. So, to all those naysayers, all the guys who support blanket style MMA, blanket wrestling, we in the real fight game, and we'll be back again and surprise you with just taking that belt.
Former champion Kamaru Usman criticized DDP's camp for underestimating Khamzat Chimaev, saying their downfall came from overlooking his biggest strength. Usman explained that Dricus Du Plessis and his team allowed overconfidence to turn into disrespect, wrongly assuming Khamzat couldn't win with just one dominant skill. He emphasized that this very weapon is among the most powerful in MMA, and failing to prepare for it almost always guarantees defeat.
And even in the lead up I felt that, I don't want to say Dricus was too overconfident. I felt that even the team, with the way that they were talking, with the way that they were kind of the lack of respect for Khamzat, like, oh, yeah, you can't come beat us with just one skill. You think you're just going to beat us with one skill? That's a pretty damn important skill. You know, it's a big one to overlook. It is. And
Kamaru Usman stated that Dricus Du Plessis' team underestimated Khamzat Chimaev and paid the price. He explained that they believe surviving one round would be enough, but against Khamzat, you have to endure all 5, which they clearly couldn't. Usman pointed out that Dricus spent 3 full rounds stuck in a cross-control position with no way out, exposing massive stylistic gaps and proving just how unprepared his camp really was.
They kind of overlooked, they didn't take it that serious. They felt, okay, if we survive one, we're good. But to get to, you got to survive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you just couldn't do it. I mean, he was crucified, I think 3 out of the 5 rounds. Crucified and had no answer for it. Like, it was almost like, I don't know how to get out of here.
You know, it really was a big differential in
Kamaru Usman also reflected on the fight, admitting that Khamzat Chimaev managed his energy with precision and could have finished Dricus Du Plessis before the third round. He explained that chasing an early stoppage often backfires, leaving a fighter drained and unable to compete effectively in later rounds.
And even watching that, Khamzat made a lot of mistakes that I think would have got him that finish before that third round. You know, he got to a position where it was just kind of so easy. It was almost him controlling himself. He had to control his own emotions. He had to control his gas tank, because that's not easy to dominate a guy like that. And everything is working because in your mind you're wanting resistance. Resistance is how you gauge how much output I need to put out. You know, but if everything's going right, you can't gauge how much output to put out. You're just like, maybe you might try to finish in that first round, then you get up second round, you're like, whoa, I can't even lift my arms. Why am I so tired? You know, so
that concludes today's video. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to our channel for more updates on upcoming UFC showdowns.